Hey, Stephen here with Coping with COVID. We're back with our Dining Behind the Mask segment. And we got our first guest to return to the show, our first recurring guest, Ana Santos Vitello, co-owner of Brazil Express Churrasco Grill in Schaumburg, Illinois. Certainly one of my favorite restaurants of all time, and certainly my favorite small business of all time. It was great to have her on the first time, and I'm excited to have her back because I want to do a follow-up episode, okay? And I want everybody listening to really take in what she says and hear this, because this is so crucial for where we are right now in Illinois. Things have been better. The numbers are starting to flow up again. And so there's a lot of concerns with small businesses, especially about what the future might hold. Mm-hmm. Just as there are concerns in my industry in education, what the future might hold. And in over half the country, we certainly have cases way on the rise, and the virus is still out there, and its actuality is still out of control, unfortunately. So how can we best be as present and positive as possible? That's the goal of this podcast. I'm just going to say it once, please share it so that as many people see this as possible. Ana, go ahead and say hello to everybody, and we'll start off with just a quick reintroduction of what your restaurant is and what options are available right now.
Okay, so hi everyone. Stephen, thank you so much for having me here again. So I'm Ana Santos Vitello, and we have a Brazil Express Grill, which is a casual Brazilian steakhouse. The prices are always more affordable. The environment is more relaxed. We are more laid back than the, high price Brazilian steakhouses. So we are bringing a lot of new ideas, to the market. So we had the chance to work on a la carte menu, so a lunch menu. So we're giving people more options, to try Brazilian cuisine, not only like once in a while or for a celebration, but, like whenever you feel like you want to have Brazilian food. So we have more options now. And people have been making questions about, oh, but how does that work? So you don't have the all you can eat anymore. So no, we do have the all you can eat. So that's our main thing, that's what we're famous about. But now we have another option, that we have a la carte menu, that we have appetizers, we have entrees, we have desserts. So we have a big range of options that people can have, just like any other regular restaurant that we were not able to have before, but now we are innovating. So no Brazilian steakhouse has what we have right now. So I think it's a good thing, it's like new options.
Absolutely. There was another Brazilian steakhouse that they had an interim outdoor dining, and it was very good. I enjoyed it, but they decided to, every restaurant is certainly, and that's one of the main things I wanted to capture on here. Every restaurant, every small business, I've noticed the bigger chains, they're usually not going to go beyond the scope of what their corporation is going to tell them they should do, But smaller businesses like yours, like this other restaurant I'm talking about, this other Brazilian steakhouse, you've had the ability to innovate for your location.
Yes.
This other one, they used outdoor dining as the interim solution. Now they're back inside. Yours is unique in the sense that you're offering both. And basically, for people that are interested, it's really good menu. I've been there 3 times since you've opened, and essentially the lunch, inside, outside is a la carte menu, and then for dinner you can go inside for the churrasco, the rodizio experience. But there's still a really cool, it's like a hack that I call it, that you guys will let people, if they want to sit outside, you can't do the meats, you can't do the rodizio. But even for dinner, you can still order off the a la carte menu upon request, or do the light dinner, the salad bar, which is something I really enjoy. And I've done that. I celebrated my birthday there. It was very enjoyable. I thank you for that experience. I also did an informal live session there as well on the patio. It's really nice. It's probably the best certainly one of the best outdoor patios I've seen. So going with that now, in terms of the service, inside your restaurant, you guys have done a really good job with not just spacing out, because there's a lot of factors, right? You haven't just spaced out the tables 6 feet. You also spaced out the tables that are closer to the the salad bar and sides area. So literally everywhere is at least 6 feet apart. And you have the gloves. There's plenty of sanitizer everywhere. I haven't sat inside yet, but I probably maybe freaked out some people because I came in to make my salad, P100 face piece on, and I was like, it was like a Star Wars character or something in there, you know, making my salad plate with breathing like, you know. But it's interesting though, because with the changes and everything, and you guys are opening at a time where not only are you going back to what you were doing, but you've since added to your menu, right? Even the Rodizio, you now have the barbecue chicken, and that's new. You know,
really good.
You have things that have been rolled out. And what have been some of the biggest challenges that you can speak to, as far as like what's been the most challenging since you've reopened?
Well, yes. So it's like everyone has to get adapted, and so our staff, they have been awesome. So they've been really following the rules, all of them. So we kind of got like training, and we keep on reminding them about all this, you know, rules, about all these changes, but they've been awesome. So sometimes they are the ones, oh, you have to do that, you know? And so we posted, we put like signs that we would prefer that people would wear a mask. So we have to do our part, you know? And things have been really controlled and nice, more than I expected. So I'm like surprised in a positive way that people have been really understanding. And I think our, you know, the business itself, you know, it's lower, of course, you know, because not everyone is out there, you know, not yet. But as you said, things are getting better here in Illinois. So I've been following closely, and I'm praying that, you know, the cases go down, down, and down. So, and so this show, I think it's a way to keep on telling people that we need to be vigilant. We need to be aware that it's still there, you know, it's still out there. So the virus hasn't gone away. So we need to be vigilant and keep on wearing our masks and keeping our distance, so we can all return to that normal that we had before. But, you know, it's still like a little bit sacrifice for each one of us. But everything has been great in the restaurant. So business is a little slower. But, you know, eventually, I think we're going to go back to where we were before. And I think now it's normal. But everything has been going great. So we only have like people giving us 5-star reviews. So I'm very happy with that. People are very understanding. So our guests are awesome. And our staff has been the best, you know. So we didn't have a lot of trouble, you know, adapting to the new rules. So it's been going great.
Yeah, and I can attest to that too. You know, I've kind of watched inside, and it seems like it's, you know, exactly how it was. You know, you have the added precautions, but everybody's happy to be there, you know.
Yes.
And it's that positivity that I've always really liked about your establishment. Now, what would you say, you know, this is sort of a hypothetical that we don't obviously want to happen, but in the event that something that Illinois would go to a phased rollback, right, that we would have to roll back from 4 to phase 3, outdoor dining being allowed, indoor dining, at least the way that it was last time, indoor dining prohibited, what kind of scenario would that put you in for your restaurant? Would you keep the outdoor dining and try to utilize that? You know, what do you foresee that could look like? Obviously, we don't want that to happen. It doesn't look like it will right now, but you never know. What can you say to that?
Well, this is one thing that keeps me up at night. Because and like I don't know if you saw me on the news on the SBC News. It was like nationwide. I was very surprised, you know, with that interview. So it was awesome. So we were talking about our concerns. So like I said, here in Illinois, I think we are doing an awesome job, all of us. Keeping the cases very low, but people sometimes they start getting comfortable, you know, and they start going to bars. I don't think restaurants are the problem right now. I think if the cases go up more than what they are right now, it would be because of bars, because I've seen like a couple bars that are not following the rules here in Illinois. So they have way over 50 people. People are not wearing masks. And that causes me concern, you know, because that will affect us tremendously, not only us, but other small businesses. So if we go back, you know, to phase 3 and we have to close our indoor dining for our type of business, it will be horrible. So it's something I don't want to even think about it, but I have to, and that keeps me up at night. So I'm just praying and telling everyone, just wear your masks and, you know, control yourself. It's not time to go crazy just yet. So everyone, we continue on this path, you know, of improvement. But, you know, if things get like really bad, so hopefully not, I think we would keep our outdoor dining and our takeout and catering. Right now we have the weekend family meals, which were a huge success on Mother's Day, Father's Day. It was awesome. So people just ordered a lot. We were not even expecting so much, but just like the cheese bread, people were like, oh my gosh, it's been like months. I don't need cheese bread. I need cheese bread. And the people were ordering the you know, the barbecue, the churrasco, the cheese bread, you know, like a bunch of things that people missed, you know, that taste. And so it was awesome. So we decided to have that in our menu right now. In our website, we have the weekend family meals, you know, that you can get, and you can have the food in your house, because we cannot deny, you know, things change. You know, sometimes you have, like you know, you have your mom. So sometimes you have someone at home that you don't want to expose yourself. So you can just, you know, have the curbside pickup, you know, contactless payment, contactless delivery, or no, you can make it work, you know, we have to adapt. And so we are having all these ideas so we can keep our business open. So that's not going to happen, you know, so we're not going to close inside again. But, you know, we intend to remain open, at least with takeout, you know, family meals, and our delivery and patio open.
Do you have for your indoor, is there a hard capacity limit? I was interviewing another restaurant.
Yes.
25%?
Yeah, so we can have more than 50 people inside. So it's been like very, like not even 50. People are very spread out. People are wearing their masks. So when they go to the salad bar, so they have their masks on. And so we change the utensils constantly. But anyways, guests are wearing gloves, like plastic gloves that they just throw away after they're done at the salad bar. So nobody's touching the utensils. But, you know, we are changing them frequently anyways. So we are like just sanitizing, you know, handles, you know, wherever people touch. So you're sanitizing everything, and people have been cooperating. So everyone with masks, and then when they go to the table, they're away from other people. And so then they take off their masks and they eat. But, you know, when our people approach, so our servers and our carvers, so they are wearing masks.
Okay.
So we are like the risk is like minimum. You know.
You've done all you can to minimize that, and I want to I want to go back to that and emphasize that point, because more is still needs to be known about. So a lot of the concern with indoor dining operations is because people have to remove coverings when they eat, and so in theory, you know, if they were to cough or something, or you know, and that could be recirculated, which is true, at least with what we know so far. You know, the distancing 6 feet, the sanitation helps with that. There is some concern over aerosol, airborne spread.
Yes.
There was, I think it was a study in China where one person infected several people in a restaurant. But then again, I'm almost positive that was before the distancing was put in place. But I definitely want to capture what you said again, because I would agree with you that for a number of reasons, I would say even if they are being careful, bars are probably more because people don't go to bars to socially distance. You can go to a restaurant. You know, I can go to a restaurant with the people that I'm living, like with my girlfriend. You know, it's fine. We're socially distancing from other people, but people don't usually go to bars to socially distance. And I think that what we may end up seeing is, especially once we get more into the fall and the winter, phase 3 had the provision of, okay, restaurants can open outdoors, but how does that help you when the weather's not suitable for that anymore and restaurants are just, it's basically like phase 2 for them, right? So it'll be interesting to see, you know, and I'm just speculating off the top of my head, it'll be interesting to see if there could be modifications or, okay, we're going to roll back to phase 3. If that happens, not saying it will. And, you know, we're going to maybe close bars or put more stricter rules on bars, then the indoor operations can remain at 25%. You know, it'll be interesting to see that. You know, if it were to happen right now, outdoors is still an option. If it happens in the winter, when we're supposed to get wave 2, you know, outdoors not really, you know, it's not going to be an option. So it's just something that, you know, I want to keep addressing on this show. And one thing I really want to end on this is if you could give one piece of advice, because like I said, I look at your business and not just the way you run the business, but the way you do your own marketing and the positivity behind it and the way you train your staff. I look at it as, you know, a gold standard, a good example. If you could give one piece of advice to other small businesses right now that might be worried about what's to come, what would that be, Anna?
Well, I think they have to impose rules. And when you put signs, you know, and people can see that, sometimes they feel like they have to follow the rules. And if you leave it like okay, each one can make their own decision. So you kind of have to lead people in a certain way. If it's your business, you have to have some rules, you know, like the same way I have the rules for my employees. I kind of have to tell my guests, you know, this is the way I would like you to behave, you know, so I would like you to wear a mask. Of course, I cannot force, you know, someone to do that, but I would like them, and I politely ask them, like in a sign, okay, we would like you to wear a mask to keep you and keep us safe. So it's for everyone. So I would, if I can give an advice, I would tell, like, you know, bar owners, like, especially like you said, when people go out for bars, they want to socialize and there is alcohol involved. You know, in our restaurant, of course, people have alcohol, they have wine, they have caipirinha, but they have a nice meal, you know, so with it. And at bars, sometimes people don't even eat anything. They just go to have beers and, you know, cocktails, and they get loud and they want to party, you know, and they want to interact with everyone and all the beautiful women out there, you know, and all the handsome guys. So you kind of like have to show the example, okay, see, my server is wearing a mask, you know, if you want to talk and scream, at least like have a mask, you know, and when you want to sip your drink, okay, you take your mask a little bit. So I think it's all about minimizing the risk.
Absolutely.
We are not 100% safe, like none of us, we are not 100% safe. But if we minimize the risk, I think we are doing a good job already. You know, like, you know, something is much better than nothing at all, you know? So at least, like, if we do a little something, it helps already.
Absolutely. It's great advice, Anna. Great advice. Appreciate it. And there, especially when it spreads asymptomatically or when people don't really feel that sick, one of the main ways it can spread is through talking, prolonged, loud talking, singing. And so, I mean, that's really where it is. So, you know, at least if you are indoor dining, they do not advise people to try to put a mask on and off while taking bites, because, you know, you're touching it. But with a bar, if you're, you know, if you're drinking something slowly, you could play around with that idea. You know, I've also thought about, I thought about experimenting with, so one of the things I do is combine a mask or respirator with a face shield. And I was thinking, well, you can kind of eat with a face shield on, you know, I'm like, what if, you know, maybe that's something to play around with. It might look weird. But.
I heard there is a mask that has a zipper. So you just open the zipper. So you eat or you put the straw, you know.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden we're having straws again, you know. So now straws are big again. So we wanted to get rid of them. And now, you know, because of the mask, you want to put the straw like through the zipper. It's like.
Yeah, it's crazy. It goes back and forth. Well, thank you, Anna, for coming on once again. You're a great guest to the show, and I appreciate that. We're out of time for today, but everybody, please share this. We'll share this on Brazil Express's page as well. Every time somebody reposts this to their timeline, it helps us generate more views, which is good for the show. But more importantly, it's not about the show. It's about the businesses, the mindset,
helping
educators.
business.
That's what we're trying to do, and we're trying to get even more people on the show. So that is it for us today, and I want to thank everybody for listening, and take care. Stay safe.
Yes, thank you. Bye-bye.